Brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Mornings at the Cabin, indeed. Wheeler, AJ, and Lecter. We're going to have to change that liner at some points if Ollie's just not going to be here for the morning show. It'll be Wheeler, AJ, and Lecter.
Well, we need Jill to do that.
Or Lecter, Wheeler, and AJ.
Jill's not allowed in either.
That's right. She can do it from home. You can do like a real bad recording off her phone.
We'll just cut it.
And I'll just be like,
Wheeler, Lecter,
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Like an old ball game.
Yeah, no, ball game.
The pitch is 2-2 now. It's a beautiful sunny day out here in Yellowknife.
That's pretty good.
Theater of the mind. Why not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Theater of the mind. You know, I remember the first time somebody told me that, and I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
That is a bunch of bullshit.
That is malarkey. Beautiful day outside, right? Sure, yeah. It snowed about...
It's not bad, actually.
It snowed a few inches last night. Some nice powdery stuff. Nothing too crazy.
Mild out, though.
It's mild.
Temperature-wise.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's minus... Well, you know, the computer doesn't tell us the temperature anymore. So.
No, the computer's checked out.
Absolutely.
Doesn't
checked
do that
out.
anymore.
Yeah, went through that cold spell and was like, you know what? No, I'm retired. So it's pretty mild. It's like, what, minus 10, maybe? I'm not going to look it up. I'm not going to look it up.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wind is not bad.
Not bad. I mean, you had
Speak
that...
in general terms.
Yeah, the weather is fine.
Comfortable. If you're dressed appropriately.
If you're dressed appropriately. The same could be said for any weather.
I suppose.
Yeah, it could be minus 60, but if you got those, if you got the minus 60 clothes on.
I don't know. Yesterday was blowing snow. Are there blowing snow clothes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winter clothes.
garbage bags.
Garbage bags, yeah.
But it's blowing in your face and stuff.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
But it is snowing currently.
An orb.
Yeah. Very
Big
nice.
plastic orb. Oh, there it is.
Go. What are we doing? It's snowing.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Wheeler, AJ, and Lecture with you on your Friday morning. We found out last night that we have 2 new cases here in the NWT. I mean, it sounds like, not everything was above board. The patient in the small community returned to the NWT and went straight to their community on March 22nd, one day after the order had been issued to barring people from doing so unless they self-isolate in a larger community first. So an investigation has been put into that, obviously. And when you post a story like this, obviously there's a lot of fear, a lot of unknowns, uncertainty, people telling, people still asking every time there's a new case, and now it's only been 4, tell us who it is! Stop doing that. We're not gonna. No one's gonna tell you who it is, and they're not gonna name the community. However, the person in that community and those people around them have been notified.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, they know. You don't need to know. Put your porch fix.
Porch fix.
Your porch fix.
Those are
Put your
dangerous,
porch
and
fix
they're
down.
very pointy, if I'm correct.
Stay inside, stay home, and you'll be fine. It doesn't matter who the person was if you are doing the thing you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, it
So-
shouldn't change what you're doing.
Exactly.
You should
And
be
remember,
home isolating anyways.
act as if you've got the virus and you don't want to be in contact with anybody. You don't want to give anybody. So that's kind of how we're acting right now.
Everything is lava.
Everything is lava. Don't touch it. There you go. The floor is lava.
Even inside?
No, inside your house is the reprieve from the lava.
Did you ever play that game as a kid when you couldn't touch the floor?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Of course.
Yeah.
It was like one of the first things you played in theater school. Like the floor
Well,
is
some
lava.
of us never went to
Oh,
theater.
No, I know, but
One
I'm
time
saying,
in
like
theater
in
school.
drama class in high school as well. But it was one of the first games he played. Like the floor is lava. Like figure it out. It's an improv game, basically, right? Figure out different tactics to stay away from the lava.
I thought I came up with it on my own.
Well.
I also thought I came up with it on my own.
Okay.
So this is pretty devastating for all of us.
Wow. 2 white men.
Jesse, why don't you come up with some original games in your
two
childhood?
white men
huh?
who grew up in affluent neighborhoods thinking they invented something? That was weird.
I barely grew up in a neighborhood.
It was Winnipeg.
I was a child.
I was a child. I made it up. Well, I mean, that's one of those games that you probably thought you made up, I imagine.
Well, yeah, I did. I literally just said
Okay,
that.
great. You really came up with it. So yes, 2 more cases. Obviously, that's going to ratchet up the anxiety just a little bit. And Dr. Cameron Condola saying the other day when we had the second confirmed case that we still have the ban on gatherings.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a recommendation.
Yeah.
They're saying nothing's off the table. If they have to enforce it by law, they will, because there's still idiots out there who are like, I'm not going to give up my freedoms, whatever the hell that means. Or just still out there partying, getting together with people. Like I've seen a couple of groups of people walking around. I'm not super pleased with it. It's not my job to police those people.
No.
You know, and I mean, if we have to, and that's the thing, when we get to this point where people are like, what's next? Like, police are going to enforce us to stay in our house? Like, yeah, if they have to. We don't need to get to that point.
Let's hope not.
Yeah, if we all just act like responsible people, we won't get to that point.
Yeah.
And we're not seeing as much of that here as we are in like northern Alberta or just in Alberta, period, where people are like, my grandfather didn't go to World War II, so I would just sit here and give up my rights. And it's like, wow, we're missing the point completely.
Yeah.
Your grandfather was asked to lay down his life, possibly, for, but give up the ultimate sacrifice to win a war against, tyranny. You're being asked to sit on your couch and just kind of stay inside.
You can fight the Nazis
exactly.
by not even leaving your house. From the comfort of your own home.
I will bring you Call of Duty World at War. You can fight Nazis to your heart's content. That's a very odd comparison. Very odd comparison. So yeah, that's all you're being asked to do. You're not giving up your rights. And people are arguing that like, well, I'm giving up my right to like go out and do what I want. It's like, no, you're not. Remember that freedom, especially freedom that we so enjoy, requires sacrifice. And this is one of those things. Freedom doesn't just mean you get to do whatever you want, no matter what. Freedom means that you have to be part of a community and you have to give up some things sometimes. You have to sacrifice.
There's a lot of gray area.
There is a lot of gray area. Of course there is. But I mean, of course there is. That's what sacrifice. There's the sacrifice right there. I was like, what do I have to sacrifice? Well, not too much. Just stay in your house for a few weeks. That's all. That's it.
Mel Gibson didn't shoot Braveheart for us not to have freedom.
Wait, he shot Braveheart? Did I misunderstand the ending of that movie?
Yeah, in the film.
Oh, you like shot it as a film?
As a film.
Oh.
It's a William Wallace reference. I'm Scottish. Freedom. Carry on, guys.
I'm Scottish. # freedom.
Carry on.
So you can find that story at cabinradio.ca about the 2 new cases. Also, check out if you missed COVID Corner last night. COVID Corner at 7. Didn't have the announcements for the 2 new cases, but there is another video that Ollie kind of gave an update on that as well. So Ollie, right on top of everything, as usual. You can get all your information at cabinradio.ca or on the Cabin Radio Facebook page, Cabin Radio NWT, of course.
One thing actually I found interesting in that article was the Inuvik case. It took 5 days to show symptoms.
Yeah.
He mentioned in there have been plenty of other cases across Canada, across the world, that have taken over a month to show symptoms.
You can, well, the scary, one of the scary things about this is that you can have it, carry it, give it to somebody, not develop symptoms, and just it'll be gone.
And you'll never know. And that's why you just need to stay away.
That's why you need to act like you got it.
You just never know.
Exactly right. I wanted to give a shout out to Laura McGinnis as well right now. Trailbreaker is in hour number 2 between 7 and 8, and they're doing a call-in show. So if you want to break from this wacky irreverence that we do here at Cabin Radio, you can give them a call. They are going to be on the line with Dr. Cami Candola and Dr. Sarah Cook to take questions on the pandemic. You can call 1-800-661-0708 or 1-867-920-5444 in Yellowknife. Go to CBC NWT right now. They're live right now. You can see Lauren McGinnis trying not to touch his face and trying to make it look like he's doing something while the camera's on him. I'm sure he's very busy.
That's why I
messaged
radio.
him, though, and he said, I'm not going to pick my nose, but I'm going to watch about touching my face. And I said, you've touched your face a dozen times. He hasn't done it since, and he looks miserable.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
Tell me everything's gonna be alright.
Mornings at the Cabin, me first with the Gimme Gimme's Danny's song cover of what's it? That's an Anne Murray tune, right?
I believe so, yeah.
It is an Anne Murray tune.
Yeah.
That's off of Have a Ball, which is one of their first ones. I think it's their first full-length CD is Me First and the Gimme Gimme's Have a Ball.
That was the first style that Anne did it, too, and then she scaled it back. She
Yeah,
didn't
that's
think
right. Well,
radio was ready for that yet.
she was pre-punk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And then she went full folk.
That's why she's so beloved.
Yeah, that's right. She's versatile. But if you're ever looking for an album full of punk covers, Have a Ball is a great one. It's all 70s folk tunes.
Yeah.
Great.
Or just find some old Anne Murray bootlegs.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. From the CBGB, I think.
Right.
She was deep in there. Yeah, it was her and Gigi Allen. They were a duo. What a sight to behold. Speaking of Music NWT put out a little radio ad writing contest over the last few weeks, and the submission deadline was April 1st. You can't submit anymore, but what you can do is vote. So go to Music NWT on Facebook, and basically what they want to do, they wanted their best radio ad submitted songs, 30 seconds or less, about the importance of physical distancing and keeping our elders and our loved ones safe in the wake of COVID-19. So people were encouraged to do these 30-second songs, and a lot of people entered, and it's all up there on the Music NWT Facebook page. Some really great ones, some families, some solo acts, and one from a board member, which is not up for voting, but is absolutely fantastic. And that's Nara, and that was awesome.
Do they note that in the title?
She noted it in her. She's like,
All right.
This one's just for fun.
All right.
Just for fun.
I didn't realize that.
Well, she's on the board. You can't win the $1,000 from Music NWT if you're on the board.
Nice
but
try,
it's good.
Nara.
Yeah, nice try. First prize is $1,000. Second prize $600. Third prize $500. Honorable mention $400. That's pretty sweet.
That's way better than your honorable mention.
Yeah, which was just
Shame.
Shame and just derision of a fellow human being.
Yeah. Very different honorable mentions.
Yeah, very, very different. That one made somebody mad. I don't think $400 would make anybody mad.
Quite upset.
No.
Yeah.
Myself included.
Well, less mad. Yeah.
She still hates you. She doesn't. That's all for me. Music NWT on Facebook. Go check it out. There's right now there's about a dozen videos, and they're all pretty awesome. And again, totally not surprised, but always surprised by how much talent there is in this territory.
Not surprised. Always surprised.
Not surprised, but surprised. Not surprised, but always taken aback. Just like, oh yeah, wow, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool. A couple people we know in there, Taylor Syracuse and Natasha Duchenne.
Yeah.
And Raven Mutford, who's she's just in high school, so she's at home, not doing anything else.
Yeah. Well,
Why
making
not
up
write
songs
a
and
30-second song about
Absolutely.
COVID-19?
That's really, yeah.
so if I may dive into semantics for a second.
Oh, please.
Oh, God, I've been
Please do.
waiting for this.
Yeah.
I was like, well, it's up on the board.
Yeah,
Semantics break.
Get to semantics.
Yeah.
It's called the radio ad category.
Uh-huh.
These are PSAs.
Ooh.
Excellent point.
Wow, you really dove into semantics
Oh.
quite a bit.
That's it. That's it. I'll stop there.
Right.
You're the
Radio
one that put it on the
PSA
board.
writing contest.
Just a little correction from your friendly neighborhood lector.
And that's why you're no longer at the board on Music NWT.
They didn't like me.
They
I
did
can't
not.
think why.
I have a point.
I have a point, guys.
You're that guy on the board.
That's right. Should we call ourselves Music NWT? I mean, yeah, you can't
I think
do
it's
that.
Music NT now,
Yeah,
actually.
Music NT
guys.
makes a lot
Can we drop
more
the
sense.
W?
Yeah, for God's sake. So go to the Facebook page and you as a member of the public can vote for your favorite radio ad. I mean, it's not a produced ad as of yet, but vote for your favorite song.
Yes.
Well, these are jingles
I
that
mean,
would
they
be
are.
used
That's right.
for a public service.
Yeah, that's right.
They're not really advertising.
Oh my God.
anything. Because no one's selling anything off this, right?
We're
right?
we're
No one's
selling
profiting
safety.
off of COVID-19,
We're
right?
selling health.
I hope to profit off of COVID-19. I'm
Okay.
getting a lot of ads on Facebook for like how I can invest smartly in the wake of such an economic disaster.
Well, let me know what you come up with.
No, thank you.
Okay.
See, the whole point that's profiting off of people's misery. That's not great.
Well, the disaster is going to happen with or without you, Jesse.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
if you want to make some money,
you want to
now's the
jump
time
on
do
that
it.
gravy train.
Buy low, sell high. Buy when people are at their lowest, and sell when they're about to go back to their lowest. At the high point.
That doesn't affect them, though.
If you are investing in
investing
things
goes.
that are really cheap right now, the reason they're cheap is because people have lost. There's hundreds of thousands of jobs have been lost, and business is bad. So you're investing then, and then it goes back up as the economy starts to turn around.
Yeah, but you're still investing into them.
There's no
Isn't it
It
time
doesn't-
you got on top, Jesse?
It doesn't
not
affect
really
them negatively.
such a thing as moral investing. That's all I'm saying.
Moral investing.
Back to the Music NWT thing. It's a radio PSA writing contest. Check out the videos. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you to everybody. I mean, I'm not part of Music NWT, but thank you to everybody who
Neither
put
am I
in.
anymore.
We had a great time. You weren't. You were fired. We had a great time this morning listening to the songs, and I mean, again, so much talent in this territory and the city. Go check it out
And
and
you
vote
like-
for your favorite.
You like the video for a vote. That's how you vote.
Yeah.
Whatever video has more likes.
What does it say? All videos will be made available on the Music NWT Facebook page for the public to vote on their favorite radio ad. It doesn't say how.
It does.
It can't be a
It does?
shared
It does.
like
Where does it
from
say
your
that?
friend.
It says in there somewhere that if you like the video, that's your vote.
Okay,
I recall reading that as well.
If you like the video, that's your vote.
Yeah.
What if you do a hate emoji?
I think that's still a like.
It's still a like?
Yeah.
Scott as an
I think it
ex-board
would
member.
still count all the same.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Laughy face just makes everyone a bit upset.
Yeah.
As a bitter ex-board member.
Yeah. Tell us what you think.
A love emoji counts as 2 votes.
No, I don't think that's true.
No, that's not true.
I don't think that's true.
Just hit like. Don't be a jerk about it.
Oh, that'd be a great way to do democracy. I love this. Yeah, 2 votes.
2.
There we go. Music NWT Facebook page. Check out the videos. Check out the songs. Wonderful stuff. And I guess they'll announce the winner here pretty soon. The voting period is up until April 5th, so you got a couple of days.
Cabin Radio's Morning Show podcast. All the best chat, none of the embarrassing mistakes.
Big shout out, well, to everybody. You know what? How you doing? How's everybody doing? Are you doing okay? Are you self-isolating? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you drinking enough water? Are you know what? I mean, if you're just sitting at home, honestly, if you're sitting at home smoking cannabis all day and having a beer and scratching your belly and playing video games, good on you.
Jealous.
Yeah,
For the first time ever, good for you.
good for you.
You're doing the right thing.
Any other time, I mean, unless it's your day off, any other time, you're just garbage. But no, I don't mean that at all. I hope everyone out there is doing okay. I mean, if you know what, we should do a post and just be like, hey, how you doing? And everybody just send back something. I did that a couple weeks ago. Actually, it's been a couple weeks almost, I think, or since like last weekend. It's been a week and a half at least.
Huh?
That I did a post and I was just having a beer and I took a picture. I was like, how's everybody doing? And everybody shared like what they were doing, a picture, and some people were doing okay and some people were doing less than okay. But
that was your last day of isolation.
That was my last day of ISO. So
that was a beer to here's to getting out of here.
Here's the
Sweet
so
freedom.
about a week ago, I guess.
Yeah.
Just over a week ago.
Right.
Feels like 2 weeks. Like these last couple of weeks have felt like a month. Like it's felt quite long.
Yeah.
So I hope everyone's doing well out there. Someone that we do want to give a specific shout out to, Charlotte Moret Jacobs.
Hey.
Charlotte's birthday is today. She is turning 19 years old. Good for you. Good for you.
Call me Ms.
Call me Ms.
Happy birthday, Charmo.
Friend of the show, friend of the cabin, host on Cabin Radio, has been a nonstop support for us, and
I think one of the OG hosts.
he is. Yeah. She is one of the OG hosts.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that show.
Yeah, awesome show. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite memories was her first show, and the first song she played, which was like a big band version of "Killing in the Name of," that
Right.
she thought was edited, but was not.
Oh, nice.
And the whole end went down.
I mean, not good.
You know how the song ends. It's a minute and a half of I won't do what you tell me.
Yeah.
I won't do what you tell me. And it was
Oh, wow.
fantastic.
I didn't even think about it. Yeah.
It was glorious.
That's not a good one.
No, it was fun. It was very, very funny. So Charlotte, happy birthday to you. I hope you get to do some bedazzling. I know you live with JDQ, so you guys will be able to hang out. Not really able to hang out with anybody else, but yeah. Hope
Do
you have
they
a great
need anyone
day.
else?
I don't
those two?
think so.
Other than Merle, of
Her,
course.
JDQ, and Merle are
What a team.
what a team.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting that in my mouth.
Anytime.
Easy. That's an odd thing to say.
Yes.
You've been
Physical
shacked up here
distancing.
too long.
Physical distancing, guys.
That's right. Physical distancing. Well, we're all craving the human touch at this point. So.
This took a weird turn.
No, it didn't. It didn't at all. Again, we had the story that just pop up. Ollie just posted the story for the first time. An NWT COVID-19 patient admitted to the hospital, and they are undergoing treatment. So we'll find out more on that a little later on. Dr. Cami Condola now saying already saying that nothing's off the table about banning gatherings by law if they need to, and considering stricter recommendations and possibly legal stuff.
Enforcement.
Well, so, yeah, the enforcement. Thank you. So yeah, I mean that's kind of what we're seeing. So I mean, what that means for us here at Studio One, I don't know. I mean, I think it would pretty much mean that we need to not do this. Maybe one of us can come in, and then the rest of us can phone in or something. I don't know.
Definitely ask the question. If they say that it's no good, then we'll adapt.
Yeah, that's right.
We know what this means for everyone else, Doctor, but what does this mean for us?
I think you'll find we are
Radio.
essential for this community.
I mean,
arguably.
not
the
even
most.
Not even arguably. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could argue that this show is essential. It's arguable.
Yeah, I mean, we
At
could argue
best.
this.
Yeah.
We'd lose, but it's arguable.
It's debatable.
The work that Ollie, Sarah, and Michelle and
Emily
Emily are all doing now
is absolutely
that is essential.
Yeah, what we're doing here, that's good fun.
Arguably essential.
Arguably,
And they're isolating.
That's right.
They're on their own.
That's right.
Also, just popped up in my Facebook feed. A friend of the show, Kim G, has been making some face masks.
Oh, face masks.
Yeah, with goofy things on them. I want one. So Kim, just send one of those over to me if you could. Thanks. Oh, she bought them. I thought she made them. But they're fun. But she's worn them all now, so I guess we can't wear them.
Oh.
Well, thanks a lot, Kim. Thanks for getting my hopes up.
That was a roller coaster.
Wasn't it? Yeah, that's absolutely right. We did find out yesterday also that NAC is closed for the rest of the season, which we were kind of expecting it.
Yeah.
But it is a shame. Obviously, there's a couple shows there that was kind of looking forward to that will have to be kind of rejiggered now. So that's the way it's going.
How far away would we have been from We Will Rock You?
It would have been in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So they've officially moved that. Ptarmigan Theatrics has officially moved We Will Rock You to next spring.
Right.
I was kind of hoping for the fall, but it wasn't going to work out.
Yeah.
So next spring, so we'll just remount in January and do it all over again.
I think the fall it's still unknown. Like, we don't know what the fall is going to look like. There's still could be some sort of limitations to things.
For sure.
So I think next spring's a good call.
It is a good call. Absolutely. And we're always we're looking forward to it. And it just kind of changes. Every day we're dealing with new things. And as we kind of have more and more cases, we knew they were coming. We knew we were going to get more. You know, you hope for the best. And we've been doing an excellent job of isolating and stopping the spread, flattening the curve, as it were. But, I mean, we knew there was going to be more. There could be more to come. So we'll just deal with it as it goes.
Are you getting some of these like kind of real life reminders? They're like normal life reminders that pop up in your phone.
I go to work
whatnot,
every day, so I'm going to work every day, so I get normal life reminders.
But like
pretty much all the time.
I mean, like fun things that you would have been doing had we not been in the middle of a pandemic.
Oh, are you like asking? You're asking me right now what I'm missing and what's been ruined because of this stupid pandemic?
Yeah.
Well, the show for one, that's the big one.
Yeah.
We're having a lot of fun with that, and we were very much looking forward to that. I know obviously, like, I think Folk of the Rocks is on everybody's mind. We're going to move forward like it's going on.
Yep.
But, I mean, that's kind of up in the air.
Yep.
We're going to, send out those good vibes as much as we can, hoping that everything goes well. But it doesn't even need to be like we're clear to do things in July here. It's that are the artists going to be comfortable coming up and flying around?
The logistics of flying across borders and whatnot too.
What about you? What does it ruin for you? You should be in Costa Rica right now.
So we should be coming towards the tail end of our Costa Rica trip now. And I woke up this morning to my alarm on my phone and picked it up. Had a little calendar notification that said, "Stay at wonderful, breathtaking surf spot."
Oh, you wrote that?
No.
You're an idiot.
Oh. Nicole wrote that.
Oh.
You just called her an idiot.
No, I didn't. I said you're an idiot. Nicole! Nicole!
No!
Oh, my God. We were just becoming friends.
I was like, why didn't we delete these?
It's a terrible reminder, but what a lovely thing to write in your phone.
Oh, yeah. It would have been lovely, yeah.
You'll get it back.
Hopefully.
You will.
One day.
Costa Rica will still be there.
Maybe.
And AJ, what about you? What's ruined for you?
Not much.
Anyway.
Really didn't have anything planned. Vegas in May.
Didn't have anything planned. I got a lot of nice stuff, so that's what AJ realized off the air when we were talking. He's like, you know what? I got a lot of nice stuff, and we're like, great.
Yeah.
Great. That's fantastic.
Guys, I just realized I'm a bit of a baller.
I'm a bit of a baller, buddy. If anyone wants to buy a Skidoo, AJ's got a Skidoo.
Yep.
Because he's got too many. He wants to give one away. Not give one away.
One too many.
One too many out of 3. Yeah, it's we're just kind of constantly adjusting. That's how it is. So, anyway.
Happy birthday, Charlotte.
Happy birthday, Charlotte.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Good morning, Ollie.
Morning.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm thrilled to be out of isolation.
but still in isolation in your home.
Well, yeah, because we're all in effective isolation, aren't we? I've basically just stepped down from grade 10 isolation to grade 9. Stay the heck in your home and don't do anything stupid, you moron.
What was grade 9 like for you?
What was what?
What was grade 9 like for you?
Grade what? Like actual school grade 9?
Well, you just said you stepped down from grade 10 to grade 9. I'm wondering what the difference is.
Well, I more meant like 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10.
Oh, graveness of isolation.
90% isolation.
90%
there you
isolation.
go.
Yeah.
I'm at 90% isolation.
I got you now.
I'm at like.
Don't call school years grades in the UK. You confuse me.
Oh, that's right.
They
You
call
say
them
year
years.
9.
There you go.
Or well, but is there? So what do you call kindergarten then?
Year 1.
Kindergarten.
Oh, okay,
It's
so
a German word. We've both borrowed it.
okay, so, yeah, I know it's a German word, but I mean, wouldn't grade 9 be year 10?
Why?
Because year 1 would be kindergarten. It's your first year. Year 2 would be grade 1. Year 2 would be grade 2.
Perhaps you go to year 13.
Surely then kindergarten is the same as grade 1. Why does grade 1 start after kindergarten?
Oh, because we call it grades. Don't worry about it.
This could be a very long and boring discussion.
It's what we've come to expect. No, it's not. Absolutely not. We're always please check in with you. How are you doing? You're out of isolation now, but you're gonna stay in your house. You're gonna act like you have the virus. How are you feeling? What's going on? How are things getting weird yet? Yes, they are. According to that laugh, yes.
That cackle.
I mean, I feel like sort of mid 2018 things were weird, but
Yeah, it's true.
no, more weird. I've got my little exercise bike set up in my living room now. I enjoy looking at that every day.
I was going to say, have you used that yet?
No.
But you pulled it in from outside and out
That's
of
right.
the box.
That's
So step 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was exercise in
I-
its own right.
And I figured out how to do it. I figured out how to set it all up and take the quick release thing off the back wheel and put it into the little clamp that it's got to be in to get it to work. It works. I'm very proud of my DIY skills for getting it set up, but I'm not finding any time to get on the thing.
Too busy to exercise. Fair enough. I know exactly how you feel. Obviously, yesterday was a big update day. Even during COVID Corner, we did not know that there were 2 new cases, but now we do know that there were 2 new cases. You did a special little update later on in the evening. Ollie, without knowing precisely what's going on, would you say it's time for people to panic and feast on the goo inside their heads?
Oh, come on. You've used that Simpsons quote so many times.
That's
in
the
one
quote.
pandemic.
This is how the bit goes.
There's got to be more Simpsons quotes about pandemics than that.
But
come
the
on.
segment is called "Without Knowing Precisely What's Going On" because we lean on you for the information. So fine, let me start over.
But the feasting on the goo. Come on,
Fine,
we can do
okay,
better.
fine. Ollie, without knowing precisely what's going on. ...
Beautiful. So there I was. I was about halfway through Charlie Wilson's War last night.
I love that movie.
Yeah, well, so would I if I would ever be allowed to finish watching it.
Yeah.
And an email came in saying 2 more cases. So
Right.
as people may have already seen on our website, the 3rd case in the NWT is someone who had been traveling in Europe. They came back to Yellowknife on March the 20th, which is a day before all the new travel restrictions were put in.
Yeah.
But they self-isolated anyway and did everything right. They got symptoms about 5 days later. They are said to be recovering well. Case 4 is in a small community in the NWT. We are not being told which one. I don't think we ever will be told by the NWT government which one. Small community means something that is not Yellowknife, Fort Smith, Hay River, or in Nuvik.
Mhm.
That person came back on March the 22nd, so a day after the travel restrictions have been put in place. But I don't know if you guys remember, that weekend there was a whole lot of confusion about what was going on. Not everybody fully understood the deal. So by some means or other, that person ended up going straight back to their home community when they should have self-isolated in one of the 4 larger ones. Now, the good news is that when they got back to their home community, they did self-isolate, and they even sent in a self-isolation plan. They actually, by the time they got home, they followed all the rules. They just didn't self-isolate in a larger community like they should have done. Yeah. But the fact that they self-isolated is obviously a good thing. 4 days after they started self-isolating, they got symptoms. Now, this person is in a slightly worse condition than the 3 others. We've learned this morning that they are now being treated at Stanton Territorial Hospital. So that person is no longer in their small community. They are the first case in the NWT to require hospital treatment, and they are in Stanton now. That's the latest that we have.
Now, when we talk about not the secrecy, but how we don't know which community it is, obviously for that person's safety, but also just so what we're seeing in the comment sections on stories like this is that people want to know the identity of the person. They want to know all the things that the public health officers will be finding out all through their investigation, who they've been with, where they've been, blah, 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 blah. That's not necessarily needed for the public, especially if they're doing their part of self-isolating.
Right. Now, I'm not seeing so many people calling for the specific identity.
Not as many.
Certainly
That's
asking
true.
about the community.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of things I want to say here. The first thing is we did talk to the privacy commissioner, Elaine Keenan-Banks. She is completely independent. She is there to oversee how the NWT government handles privacy. She's an expert in it. It's her job to basically adjudicate as to whether the NWT is getting it right. We went to her and asked, is this being done correctly? Do you understand why the NWT government is not releasing the community? And she does understand that. She can see it both ways. She understands why people want that information as well. But as far as she's concerned, it is a perfectly acceptable approach. So that's one thing. The other thing I want to talk about is there's a concern within the NWT government that if you started releasing information that made it more likely that people would be identified, that would stop people reporting that they were ill.
Of course.
Which would have awful consequences.
Absolutely.
So even if you were to say the community name, if everybody happens to know that one person in the community came back on March the 22nd from traveling and they haven't been seen since, it's going to be immediately obvious that is the person, even if you've only said the community.
Yeah.
Now, the next person in that community to get ill might look at that and think, you know what, I'm just going to ride this out because
I don't want the attention.
Everybody to know that I've got a case, and if I go and tell public health and I go get a test, then everybody's going to know, and my life is going to be made a misery.
Yeah.
That is why we don't reveal this information.
Yes.
Because the worst thing that can happen is people starting to get sick with this virus and not telling anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Because then there's nothing that we can do to trace that, fix it, make sure people are isolated, and keep the rest of us safe. That is the big problem with that. So when people wonder why are we not being told the community, that is the reason why. Because if we start scaring people away from reporting themselves, then we will start to lose the battle.
Absolutely, and right now we are doing very well in the battle, in spite of the last two cases, and this one now being the first case causing a hospitalization here in the NWT. So other than that, I mean, we are doing a pretty bang-up job of keeping flattening the curve up here in the NWT. So that's very.
Let me just talk about that a little bit. So the reason that we are still winning is that all 4 cases so far are directly linked to travel.
Yes.
When that changes will be when there should be more. I mean, there already should be like as much concern as you could have. But from the point of view of public health, when they will start to become more alarmed by the situation is when that stops being true. So at the moment, we know there are 4 cases. We know exactly where all 4 of those cases came from. We know all of them were traveling. They self-isolated. That's great. All those cases are very easily managed. By that, I mean, we understand where they came from. We understand how that person got the virus. We get it. It all makes sense. The danger is going to come when somebody randomly pops up with the virus in the NWT and they didn't travel.
Yes.
And they didn't have close contact with a case that we already knew about. And then we're going to be hooped because we don't know how that person got the virus. And if we don't know how they got the virus, we can't stop it from spreading because we don't know what steps to take. That is what you're now seeing in southern Canada. That is what you're now seeing in the USA. There are so many cases that it is now beyond the capability of the public health system to restrict the movement of the virus because they don't know where it is anymore. And that is what they're trying to avoid in the Northwest Territories with all of the different restrictions that we're under right now. Yeah. So as long as it is kept to cases that they can clearly point to travel and say that's why that person has the virus, that is still a winning situation to work from. And that's why we need to all be doing what we're doing and do it so well, to stop it starting to become a thing that just passes from person to person and we don't know where or how.
It's also very encouraging that seemingly the people who have been tested and been tested positive for COVID-19 have been seemingly very responsible people doing all the right things, even in the early days when there was still a lot of questions and a lot of gray areas to on the 20th, should I just leave my house and never come out? Can I still go get groceries as long as I don't touch anything? We've all kind of been learning about this and how we need to navigate this together. And so it's really encouraging that, the 4 people that have tested positive have, by all accounts, acted very responsibly afterwards.
It is. Let me put a different spin on that. The 4 people that have tested positive, we know about because they got a test. Why did they get a test? Probably because they were acting responsibly and following all the orders.
Right.
The problem there, and what I would suggest is the unknown, is how many people came back and didn't self-isolate and aren't really following the rules, and because they're not really following the rules, haven't got a test, and therefore we don't know that they exist. Now, I don't say that to frighten anybody or scare anybody. I just don't want anybody to feel complacent because, oh, look, these guys are all self-isolating. It's great. We know about these 4 people are following the rules. We know about the ones that are following the rules because they are following the rules. What you want to be aware of is the fact that we might not know about the people who are not following the rules, which makes it all the more important that as many of us as we can follow all of those rules so that even if there are isolated cases of people who are not getting it right, enough of us get it right that we win this thing.
I mean, Ollie, we're at 4 of 40,000.
Yeah.
I like those odds.
And Ollie, just before you continue, if I understand what you're saying is that if there are people that came back and didn't self-isolate and aren't being responsible, they should be loaded into a trebuchet and tossed into the middle of Great Slave Lake. Am I understanding you correctly?
I mean, I feel like that should also be a Simpsons quote.
It wouldn't throw them far enough.
Well, that's true. Yeah, trebuchet. So what do you need? You need like an actual catapult.
Yeah.
Okay.
With a lot of tension.
A lot of
a certain
counterweight.
size.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Ideally, what I'm saying is those people should just go get a test, and then we'd be able to work with that.
I suppose.
So no medieval
Yeah.
tools.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I mean, we have a catapult.
Testing seems easier.
All right, fine. Testing, I suppose. Well, thank you, Ollie. Thank you for joining us this morning, as always, and we look forward to another episode of COVID Corner at 7 o'clock tonight. Hopefully you won't have...
Tonight's show, by the way, Finance and Justice Minister Caroline Wozniak is live on the show.
Oh, wonderful.
Ooh, cool.
Very nice. Very
Sweet.
nice. Okay, well, we look forward to that at 7 o'clock tonight and continuing forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Ollie Williams from his hovel deep in the recesses of the Amber Mountains. He is staying in isolation, and he is encouraging everyone who can to do so. Obviously, if you're an essential worker, that is difficult. But as always, as we move forward to the essential workers out there, thank you. And continue doing your jobs as long as you can. But remember, if you don't feel comfortable, you are allowed to say so. So there you go. That's going to do it for another episode of Mornings at the Cabin. Thank you to Ollie. Thank you to everybody for listening, and thank you for your continued support. Go to cabinradio.ca for all your news updates. We've got like a whole whack of reporters now, which is great. Just a whole bunch.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.